So, hello, dear explorers. This is me, Adela, and Alison, my special guest. Hello, Alison.
Hello, hi Adela and everyone else.
And today we are going to talk about the life lessons we've learned from the activation number 7. Activation meaning gates or gene key or Leo archetype, whatever you feel like working. I find them languages. So, whatever the language you want to use, we'll talk a bit about how this felt as a life lesson or the life's lesson this brought. So yes, Alison, how
Okay,
do you
well,
feel the 7, which is transit
yeah, the
right now?
seven. So it's the shadow of division,
Mhm.
the gift of guidance, and the city of virtue, which is something I know it's quite an old fashioned word, but I really love striving to be virtuous. So I really love this gene key. So I'm going to go back a bit with life
Mhm.
lessons because I grew up in South Africa under apartheid, and apartheid actually means keeping people separate, and the entire system was built on dividing people, whether that was through money, through political ideas, through biological ideas even. So I grew up in this extremely like polarized, violent, oppressive division.
Mhm.
And actually, that really ended happily. Richard talks about, once in a while in history, we get a virtuous leader. And in South Africa, we got Nelson Mandela, who was just a shining light, a visionary, a man so full of forgiveness. So I feel like I've had a very direct experience of this kind of virtuous leadership that could come with Gene Key 7. And then much later in my life, well, not that, well, I was in my 20s, late 20s, and I was living in England then. And I got this amazing job as a project manager for a crisis house, and we were all people who'd actually recovered from some sort of mental health problem. So I had post traumatic stress disorder when I was younger.
Mhm.
And so I got this amazing job, and we spent a lot of time thinking about what we call ourselves. And we came up with the term recovery guides. So this idea of guidance, I think I've always been like really instinctually drawn to that. And I think it's pretty much all over the world that mental health services don't guide, they tell you what to do. you know? And if you don't do it, then they section you and inject you by force and, all kinds of things. And actually, after 7 years of working in that system, I mean, people were coming to us instead of going to psychiatric hospital. So they had quite a high level of mental health crisis, like experiencing psychosis or self-harming, that kind of thing. Um, and we would not force anything on them. Everything was by choice, and we were all so like strongly believed in choice.
Mhm.
And now, like years later, and I left that project after 7 years, and I was even more convinced that you needed choice in everything, because I think I understand now, like understanding of trauma has moved on so much in the world, that people who are traumatized, when you then force them to do things, and which, if you're not guiding, which is this gift, if you're not guiding, then you're pushing them in a certain
Mhm.
direction that you think is where they need to go. And so I think the massive life lesson for me is about inner authority, like trusting your own life, even when everything's falling apart, even when you're on the way to a psychiatric hospital, you know, trusting that you know the way out or you know the way forward in a way no one else ever can. Um, so yeah, it's really interesting because I was just rereading it again before I came on, and you know, Richard talks about this in relation to hierarchy, and that's the thing. While we believe the doctor knows better or the
Mm.
politicians know better, you know, we're waiting for someone to come along and rescue us. But until we actually get into that inner power and authority, then you know we don't find our way because other people just confuse that
Absolutely.
intelligence we already have. If that, I don't know if that makes sense to
It,
you or
it
that.
does. It does totally. And while you were speaking, I was like, "Ooh, this is a life lesson I have to learn." Yeah, that's so valuable. I remember when I started the guides program, and you know the jewel the guides program is.
Yes.
I had the same kind of epiphany. It's like, whoa, the guide has such an important role, not to show people what to do, but just to be so aligned with that guiding force. And yeah, so when you were speaking, I was like, in my note pad here writing, like, listen, Adela. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think it's very valuable. I don't have seven, but I have 31, so 31 looks to seven. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So thank you for sharing. From my perspective, what I would add, and the virtue part is very valuable, as you said. I think seven being a gate in the G center related to identity and direction. I think
Mm.
this combination between 31 and 7, it has a lot to do with living life as an example, as a living example. I find that both people that
Yes.
have 7 or 31 have to live life according to virtuous qualities in a way, because people will see your life as transparent in a way. So you have this energy in 31, and definitely you have it in 7. And as you say, you remember someone as Nelson Mandela, and you remember someone who did something, or other people who did something virtuous. And I
Mm.
find that 7 is, uh, as beautifully said in the Jinkies, is the power behind the throne. It's such an important role as a guide, to first be that, embody that in a way, in order to inspire other people with your guidance. So yeah, I definitely resonate with that. I think the life lesson, one of the life lessons I've learned, as I said, I don't have it in my profile, but my fiance has the whole channel.
Right.
um, I think 7 brings this light upon virtue. The life lesson I got from it is that these people have a way of guiding you through your best potential. It's like 7 has this power to see in you the virtue. So whether you have it in your profile or other people have it in their profile, it's 7 has this ability to, in a way, stir up the virtuous qualities. So the
Yeah.
life lesson it brought to me, it brought this kind of wanting to be virtuous, wanting to be to embody that guide. So I think that that's something it really brought into my life. And it's a Leo. We both work with the astrology language and with the
Yes.
planets. And being a Leo, and I would love your opinion on that too. Being a Leo archetype, the Leo is a leader, and is the leader that leads from the heart. So I find that here in the 7 you have this merging between the guiding, the leader, the heart, the virtues. All of them are here embodied. So I would say the Leo has a big impact here too. What's your perspective? You work with astrology too, so what do you feel like Leo
Yeah,
brings
so well,
here?
just to say as well, I also did the guides program recently, and this is the gene key I decided would be my kind of guiding gene key. It's the one that
Nailed
really
it.
called me. But yeah, thinking about the Leo side, so I mean, I have ascendant in Leo, and I have strong leadership qualities, and but one thing I think is I think it's a learning journey through Leo because um, perhaps when you're younger, your instinct as a Leo is to lead from the front, to be the shining light. Um, Whereas as you go through the journey, I think, of life, and you kind of realize that isn't what it's about. You want to make other people the shining light, and you be a shining light, but for them,
Mm.
not just a shining light so you can look great and you know. So I have Leo ascendant, so I have quite a lot of that Leo energy anyway. But yeah, so I do think Leo is important. I think the creativity of Leo is important as well, um, because you kind of have to have faith in people that they're going to find their way out of whatever hole they're in. They're going to find their way out of it. They know inside already where what needs to happen. And so you kind of have to believe in the creative potential, I think, of a human being. Um, yeah. And I really like that what Richard says is to be a good guide is really about being a good listener,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to actually listen to what there is in a person, because sometimes they may not see in themselves what someone else can see, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and signpost, or yeah, so it's very interesting because it's actually challenging the whole kind of hierarchical basis of our world,
Mm.
which I like that as well.
Yes, thank you for the insights. And I think people having 13, which is the programming partner, might feel it. It's like, yeah, I have the 13. I know how listening is like. So yes, it's we were just speaking about the Aquarian energy. That there was a short pause here, but the Leo has the opposing Aquarian energy. So 7 has the programming partner 13, the Leo Aquarius energy here. So it's I liked what you said about the collective, and this is what I think encompasses and wraps it up for me. It's like the guide and the leader that does that for the collective, and it's bringing the light for the collective. And I think that's a great life lesson 7 brings. It's not about you, or not just about you. It's you are to be here to be a virtuous leader, but you do your job for the collective, and that's very valuable. So thank you, Alison. If there's anything you would like to add, please do. You can find Alison. I'll post the details in the descriptions where you can find her. She does brilliant work. I love what she does, and please watch her. Wherever I have some interesting information to check up, I'm like, Alison, tell me what is Vesta, what is Epona, what is so. Please do. So yeah, tell me if there's anything you would like to say in the end.
No, just thank you for inviting me on for this little chat. I've really enjoyed it. Seeing you, it's a good opportunity to catch up. And yeah, thanks. And I'll speak to you again soon. And yeah, I
Yes,
have a, I'll post my YouTube channel
yes,
so
please do.
people can go there, and my email address and stuff is there.
Please do. Thank you all for watching.
Bye.